Hey guys, Wayne Santos, editor with CGM, and we are here, and it is E3, and it is happening, and the floodgates are officially open, all kinds of news is coming out, and here's what we managed to see on the first day. I have kind of had a sort of a mixed day in that I saw a lot of different things I ordinarily don't. Being a big fan of harmonics, I was actually okay with taking a tour of the Disney booth, and I messed around with Fantasia. Now, I like playing Rock Band, I like my plastic instruments, but I don't usually do the dancing games. So for me, the Fantasia game is actually a bit of a compromise because I didn't have to dance, I just had to gesture. There is potential there in that game. It can actually get pretty tricky, and it's like demand rhythm and timing from you in the same way that a Rock Band or Guitar Hero game will. I think I upset the people at the booth by looking like I was having no fun at all because I was obsessed with trying to gold star the song that I was playing, but of course you can't do that because Disney doesn't believe in that sort of thing. But it's like, still, it looks like a reasonably fun family game, and you can choose the classics like, Night on Bald Mountain, or you can do what I did and pick Sting's Message in a Bottle. So, there you go. I also saw Disney Infinity, and it's like, what can I say? This is primarily for the children. Parents are going to hate this thing because there are going to be so many figures that you need to buy, and they're all going to cost you like tons and tons of money, and they're going to just keep cranking them all out. They're doing Marvel right now, but of course within the next couple of years we can probably also expect to add Star Wars to the mix, at which point the adults will probably want to get into the fray. But yes, it's Disney Infinity. It's coming out to all the modern platforms. I played a little bit of it on an Xbox 360, and I can tell you right now, it's already hurting. I saw stuttering frame rates, I saw screen tearing, so it's like, strangely enough, for a game with simplistic graphics, it looks like it really does need current generation technology to run rather than last generation technology. After that, I actually got a chance to sit down with a Microsoft exclusive, which was Fable Legends. This one is actually pretty interesting. The concept behind this is that it's 4 versus 1. You've got 4 players playing cooperatively, different classes. It's like ranged damage, ranged support. It's like up close and personal tank, up close and personal damage dealer. But then there's that versus 1, and that versus 1 is the one guy who's playing the villain. Now, what's interesting about this is that it's not just the villain controls one guy that keeps attacking all of the other guys. He does do that, but in addition, it's almost like he's playing Dungeon Keeper, if any of you guys remember that old school strategy game where you actually played this evil dungeon master who would set up monsters and traps and stuff like that. That's what the villain in Fable Legends does, is that he can distribute monsters, he can lay out traps, but he can also take control of people to attack. So I played this game. I was playing the Rook, who is the ranged crossbow damage dealer, and it was actually a lot of fun. Also very nerve-wracking because everybody I was playing with kind of like died very quickly, and I sort of had to carry the game all by myself. That's when it stopped being fun and started becoming incredibly stressful because I don't deal well with pressure situations. But we did win the game. I went down like a champ, but then I actually managed to use my last stand ability to get right back up and kill the very last monster. It's like when the clock was ticking and we should have lost. So there's a lot of promise in that game. The fact that it's like the Dungeon Master is an actual human that's setting up the environment makes things very, very unpredictable. It can make it a lot of fun for a lot of people. My only regret about this game is that right now it is strictly online multiplayer. So there is no local co-op, because that would hurt the graphical fidelity, which means that guys playing at home are not going to have the same experience that I did, where I was playing with like 4 other people in the room and we were all communicating with each other. You guys are just going to have to do it over headsets, which is really a shame because the game is a lot of fun when everybody is in the same room. Finally, I paid a visit to our friends over at Deep Silver. I got a chance to see Dead Island 2, which is, what can I say? It's Dead Island. The irony of Dead Island 2 is that it's being made by Jaeger, and it's a lighthearted satirical romp, which is pretty much what Dead Island 1 was, but everybody was expecting something deep and dark and depressing because of the trailer that released. This time around, we get a lighthearted trailer, and is being done by Jaeger, who did Spec Ops: The Line, which is a deep and dark and depressing game. So you'd think that they would be perfect for creating a game that lives up to the hype of the first trailer for Dead Island, but no. They're actually keeping it, light and frothy and bubbly in California, which is now a quarantine zone filled with zombies. So that game looks like it could be interesting. They showed us a lot of the open world mechanics, some of the weapon crafting. It's pretty much what you expect. You're running around, zombies are everywhere, madness ensues. And finally, certainly last but not least, was I got a look at Homefront Revolution, which is being done by Crytek this time around. It's a few years after the original Homefront. The location has changed over to Philadelphia, and you're basically just fighting asymmetric guerrilla warfare against the Korean People's Army. They showed off a little bit of that. There were some cool moments in there, like having to construct a remote control car with explosives attached to it, and then you steered that directly under an APC, armored personnel carrier, while that APC was like moving into a police station so as to sneak it past all of the guards. Lots of little moments like that showed that you don't have the same tech as the Korean Army. It's like they definitely outclass you when it comes to how sophisticated their weapons are, so you have to be smart and sneaky. And it looks like it could be a promising game, or for all we know, it could turn into just another contemporary military first-person shooter. We're not really going to know until we got some extensive hands-on time with it. Obviously, this being done by Crytek, it looked really, really gorgeous, so you don't have to worry about what the graphics on this game are going to be. They're fine. It's like cloth physics were really detailed. Rain, weather effects were in there. They were also very impressive, so we'll wait and see on this one. Definitely looking good. How it plays, we'll need more time. So that's day one at E3. I'm Wayne Santos. See you guys later.